So guys, this is our wood splitter. We've had this for about 10 years and it's worked pretty well actually the whole time. But it has one slight flaw in it, and I think it's time to fix that today. Before we do, let's just get in to show you what we've been up to. Ta-da! Filling our woodshed up for the year. This is, we normally burn through about 12 cubic metres per year, so that's 1 year's wood, so that's next year's wood. But not only that, we also done the other side. So we've actually got 2 years set of wood here. For our people in the imperial world, you might be thinking, well, what's 12 square cubic metres? So this is my trailer and it can hold pretty much 6 cubic metres of wood. So basically I have to fill this up twice to fill our woodshed up on one side for 1 year. So here we are over at Reese's house, and he's got a little bit of stacking to do. So he's got quite a bit of firewood here to put in his shed or his lean-to. But and he takes a little bit less than what we have generally for a year. And so this is what we've got left of our rounds from our trees. Doesn't look like much, but I'll show you a picture of behind or a video of what we've actually done so far. So hopefully we'll clean this up today. And here's our brush pile. So this is everything that's left over that we've deemed too small to cut up or whatever. So it's quite a big pile. So all that wood came from over here. So Reese had 12 trees that we cut down. So I still need to come back here and chop the bottoms off. So, our original plan was really just to take these two big trees here. That one there was the biggest one, and it actually could have hit Reese's house. We determined that it would have hit the house if it had fallen over. It was also curved and leaning that way. So, but yeah, so we've cut all these down, then took them over there, chopped them up, put the stuff on the burn pile, and then used the rest for firewood. And we got one pine tree left standing. It will probably deal with another year because we've probably got way too much firewood already. So that's what we're up to. So I'll need to fix the wood splitter and we can get stuck into splitting the rest of this wood. So all the design for here is that there's quite a big gap here in this side and it stops around. And as you're going down, it sort of gets on an angle. So I think the best thing to do here is actually put another plate up here, weld it on, then weld nice plates on either side instead of these things which are bolted through, and then put a nice flange plate at the back, and that should hold it more straight. And it'll be taller as well, so that it won't be able to twist as much. A couple other modifications we need to do, and that's this one here. As this comes up, it actually hits that, so we really need to move the controller over to the right a little bit more. You can see that this is all chewed up, but that's actually from rats sitting in the shed at the one of my father's old barns, and the rats have been into it. But other than that, so we've moved that over. That should actually make a big difference, and therefore it won't be rubbing on the hose as it comes up. So a couple of big things we need to do. Hose is well out of the way, anything can go up here now. Might just straighten that up a little bit, it's a little bit crooked, but other than that. Anyway, so here's the group of pines that we cut down at Reese's place. They're all quite closely planted together. Well, actually, they're not planted. They're wild pines that grew self-seeded themselves. This whole area was pines at one point in the past. So the idea was to work the way up the tree and cut all the branches off. And then once we got to the top, work our way down by cutting the main trunk into pieces. However, we found the trees were actually a lot taller than we thought. They were over 25 metres tall, and the lift only went up to 15 metres. So in the end, the idea was that we'd take all the branches off. They were all tied together and between each other. Now, when we decided to fell them, I didn't want them hanging up in the other branches of the other trees. So the idea was here that we'd get as much of the branches off as we can, and then once we got as high as we could, we'd then fell the trees down, which is what we did in the end. Anyway, let's get back to fixing the wood splitter. So the next job here is to get this piece of this, and let's just cut it off, and let's extend this up by the same amount up here. So got those plates all cleaned up and ready to go and lined up. So we've got 175 in there between those, and it's about 172 or so between the plates out here. So got about 3 or 4 mil to play with. So I'm going to add a bead of weld down here, and that'll fill off a bit of that 3 or 4 mil gap anyway on both sides. So but the first thing is, let's get this tacked in place, and then we'll get into welding that in. Right, so got all that welded up, both sides, so that fits in there quite nicely. Not much wobble on that, so that's really good. So now we just need to make some plates that will bolt flat on here. So looking at these 2 old plates that were on there, if I cut that off and then remount that there, I believe that should work quite well actually. See, I might even leave that on there, because then it will help stop sideways movement a little bit and strengthen it. So let's just use those, drill some holes in them, and we'll be home and hosed, I think. what I did here, once I got one set of holes through both plates, I then bolted the plates together, and then I basically drilled all the other holes, so I kept it lined up with the bolts in there, so it was really good. I've got all the bolts in that drilled out, so now let's see if she fits on the Woodsplitter. Right, so I've got everything bolted back on, which is good, and I've greased her up, and she goes really well. So generally what's been happening is Reese would cut a few limbs down, and then I would go in while he's moving, like he is now. I would go in with the tractor and pull the branches out from underneath it, and if they're small, I would stack them on the pile. If they're a little bit larger that we can use for firewood, then I've been pulling them over there, and we'll cut the big pieces off them later, and then them in the pile for firewood, and the little pieces then go back onto the pile. But he's cut the last one. There was one hanging there. Oh no, there's still one hanging there, so I'm a bit nervous at the moment to go under with the tractor. You can see he's cut one. It hasn't actually fallen, so I'm quite nervous. I wouldn't go under there at the moment with the tractor just in case that fell, so we'll wait for Reese to finish that one off.
It's a little bit more windy today, so being about 130 something kg right up near the maximums of that machine there.
Certainly wandering around a bit today, aren't they?
But it's manageable. You just have to move slowly with the bucket, and your sphincter doesn't get going. You can
So Reese, I see we had one casualty, the fence.
What's wrong with it? It's always looked like that.
What was the lesson learnt?
Gravity. The lesson learned is try not to cut too much off at one time. We did say we we're going to do like meter cuts, but
how much was that? It was about a 4 metre or 5 metre one.
It was slightly longer than 1 metre. I thought there was enough room to fall below, but it sort of flipped out and didn't fall vertically like I thought it might have.
Right, so here we are into actually starting to fell the trees. So we got up there with the lift and tied a big rope around it, and I get under it and cut the tree enough, and Reese pulls it over with the tractor, and then he comes back and lifts it up. We cut it up, and put the big logs on the piles to cut up later, and the little branches go on the burn pile. It all seemed to work quite well. Had no accidents in this part. There was that one tree we didn't actually use the lift for. It was leaning so far over that there was no issue which way it was going to fall, so that was pretty easy. But all the other trees, we got the lift out and tied a rug up quite high, and basically cut enough of the trees that the tractor would just actually pull the tree over. I didn't cut the trees enough that they would fall normally by themselves. They all got pulled over by the tractor, and it had no problem. With the rope so high, there wasn't really an issue. We had quite a few trees that were, the ones along the back were leaning across the road. You see the fence here, there's a road there, and the one tree that's on the right hand in this picture was actually leaning towards Reese's house. and we actually pulled that quite over in its opposite direction, so the tractor had no problem doing that at all. So it all worked very well and very safely actually, so we're all quite happy to get all these down. So you see that last tree we cut, you can see here how much was left over that wasn't cut, and Reese actually pulled that and broke that with the tractor, so I left quite a lot. The tree was still standing, I didn't cut enough that it would start falling by itself. He actually pulled it with the rope, so that is very good, because when we come to do this tree here, which is leaning towards the house, we don't want it to start falling from a cut, we want to pull it in the right direction. So we're down to 4 trees, and we're going to take this one out here next. So that one's going to come out next. It's not tucked up anything, and that will mean all the rest are free from each other, and we should be able to just take them down without a problem.